Assalamu alaikum, friends. Today's video is a little different from our usual videos. Instead of just discussing recent events, we're going deep into history to uncover the real cause of the Israel-Palestine conflict. While most people focus on the ongoing war, very few talk about the actual mastermind behind this crisis, the British Empire. From the fall of the Ottoman Empire to the controversial Balfour Declaration, Britain played a key role in shaping this conflict. In this video, I will expose how their policies led to decades of war, suffering, and instability in the Middle East. Stay tuned because by the end of this video, you'll understand the hidden truth that history books don't teach us. Since the establishment of the Israeli state in 1948, Palestinians have been resisting the occupation of their land by Zionist Jews. Today, the world is divided into two blocks, one supporting Israel and the other supporting Palestine. This issue is being discussed everywhere, but one of the most important aspects that no one talks about is the real culprit behind this conflict, the British Empire. Just like they deliberately created the Kashmir dispute between India and Pakistan, they intentionally left a border dispute between Muslims and Jews in the Middle East to ensure that a stable government could never be established there. This allowed Britain to maintain control and influence like a deep state in the region. The fire ignited by their deliberate mismanagement of borders during their rule has never been extinguished. In this short video, I will focus on the role of the British Empire in the Israel-Palestine conflict and explain how they are the root cause of this ongoing crisis. The British Empire's role in the Palestine conflict. During World War I, Palestine was under the control of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire was allied with Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Bulgaria, while on the other side were Britain, France, Russia, and the United States. As a result of the war, the Ottoman Empire weakened significantly. Taking advantage of this weakness, Sharif of Mecca, with the backing of British spy Lawrence of Arabia, rebelled against the Ottomans in exchange for the promise of gaining control over Arab lands. However, this promise was just a British deception to serve their own interests. Ultimately, the Ottoman Empire lost the war and was broken into pieces, forming modern-day Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, and Palestine. This division led to multiple conflicts in the region, including the Palestine issue. The British knew exactly what they were doing. They intentionally created instability in the Arab world, which allowed them to maintain control over these regions indefinitely. The secret British-French agreement. Since both Britain and France fought together in the war, they signed the Sykes-Picot Agreement to divide the territories of the fallen Ottoman Empire among themselves. No consideration was given to ethnic groups or national identities while drawing the borders. Communities that belonged together were deliberately divided to create ongoing conflicts. One of Britain's biggest motivations for controlling the region was the Suez Canal. This canal was extremely important for British trade as it connected the Indian Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea, reducing travel distances between Europe and Asia. Zionism and Britain's role in the creation of Israel. Palestine was historically home to Jews, but over centuries they were displaced across Europe. The Ottoman Sultan Abdul Hamid refused to sell Palestine to the Zionists, despite repeated offers and bribes. After the fall of the Ottoman Empire, Zionists saw an opportunity to reclaim Palestine. The Zionist movement gained momentum, demanding a homeland for Jews in Palestine. At that time, 87% of Palestine's population were Muslims, only 3% were Jews. However, Britain wanted a Jewish state in Palestine for its own political benefits. Thus, in 1917, British Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour sent a letter to the Jewish leader Walter Rothschild, promising British support for a Jewish homeland in Palestine. This letter became known as the Balfour Declaration. Deception and the partition of Palestine. The British betrayed the Arabs by promising them independence, but then secretly dividing the land among themselves and supporting the establishment of Israel. During World War II, Hitler's persecution of Jews in Nazi Germany was used as an excuse to justify the establishment of a Jewish state in Palestine. Jewish immigrants started buying land in Palestine and gradually increasing their population. Native Palestinians were forcibly displaced. By 1936, frustrated Palestinians rebelled against British rule. The British suppressed the revolt, but resistance continued. Finally, in 1947, Britain withdrew from the conflict, leaving Jews and Muslims to fight for control over Palestine. The United Nations biased plan. In 1947, the UN proposed a partition plan for Palestine. 45% of the land for Muslims, 55% for Jews, Jerusalem to remain neutral under international control. This was grossly unfair because Muslims were still the majority at that time. Yet Israel was officially declared a state in 1948. The Arab-Israeli Wars, 1948. Arab nations, including Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq, attacked Israel, but Israel, with Western support, especially from the US, defeated them and occupied 75% of Palestinian land. 1967, Six-Day War. Israel fought another war with Arab nations, captured Gaza, the West Bank, and Jerusalem, and declared Jerusalem its capital. 2006. The political group Hamas gained control of Gaza, while the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, controlled parts of the West Bank. Since then, internal conflicts and Israeli aggression have continued. The hypocrisy of the West Jews were hated in Europe because Christians blamed them for betraying and crucifying Jesus Christ. This led to them being persecuted and living as minorities everywhere. However, instead of accepting them in Europe, Western nations helped them occupy Palestine. The Zionist movement was never about a peaceful two-state solution. From the start, it aimed to take over all of Palestine. Even today, many American and European Jews oppose Israel's occupation of Gaza and the oppression of Palestinians because they recognize the truth. Conclusion: the British Empire is the real culprit behind the Israel-Palestine conflict. They illegally handed Palestine over to the Zionists, ignoring the will of its native people. Today's situation is a direct result of British deception, Western hypocrisy, and Zionist aggression. If you learned something new from this video, share it with your friends. I'll see you in the next interesting video. Take care, and thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.